What would I call my journey? A lot. Nah.
I mean,
Nah.
it's your word, man. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's just
You know what? My one word, man, is endurance, because the attacks are inevitable. The when I say attacks, I mean even your own mental, like your own mentality will attack yourself. Your own, like you are your own worst person in some cases. So yeah, I would definitely say endurance.
like for you to introduce yourself. You know what I'm saying? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right, my name Todd, man. Detroit, Michigan, born and raised. Um, from a neighborhood called Joy Road. It's one of the, it's one of the that was my environment. I still deal with people over there. You know what I mean? But luckily, I've been been blessed enough to be able to influence those people in a positive way. You know what I mean? A few of those people over there, and as long as I touch one person, then I'm happy with it. But other than that, man, I come from over there. So does my mom, my dad. They come from over there. My uncles, you know what I mean? A few of my uncles from 7 miles. So yeah, my whole family born and raised Detroit. I got a few people in Mississippi, Florida, Cali. Had to move from Detroit to go to Cali though, and a few people that moved from here to Texas. Yeah, so I got family in a few different places, but yeah, that's
All right, that's
yeah.
what's up. I know a couple of people, man. Where I'm from, they from Detroit. You know, they
Mm-hmm.
families from Detroit in Missouri. I ain't never been to Detroit myself. They used to always
Mm-hmm.
try to get me go up there, but I ain't never been. So I
Yeah,
don't
it ain't.
know.
It's not a. You know what? It's a place to make money. On a be productive on a positive joint, on a straight up and down path. It's just who you brush shoulders with. I mean, a lot of people here have, and it's crazy because people here have so much negative to say about the city, but you look at other races, you know what I mean, and they coming and buying it up, and it's like, what are they seeing that you don't see? I mean, I see it, but like, you can't
Right.
talk to everybody. Yeah, so.
Yeah, I said that you was in the real estate, and I always hear and I always see, whether it's on social media or on the news or something, that the real estate is real cheap, or the land and the property up in Detroit right now is really cheap. And I hear a lot of people talking about buying some properties and stuff up in Detroit. I mean, is there any truth to that?
The properties, okay, so the value is up. So like the properties are not cheap, right? So
Right.
it's just like dope, right? So like you got, if I got all the keys, right? I got all the keys. It's nothing else out here. I can charge whatever I want to charge, and you gonna
Right.
pay it. You know what I mean? So it's a lack of inventory, and the demand is higher, right? So which drives the price up, and the value may not be there, which is the problem right now. The market is so tense that the value on most of the inventory right now is not, the value is really not there. It's a made up value, which is why right now it's not a buyer's or a seller's market. It's actually a lender's market. So it's better to deal with homeowners, which I don't deal with homeowners per se. I did maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago and back, but now I handle acquisitions for investors, domestic and foreign. But um, what so you can get cheap properties and put 10, 15,000 into them and turn a profit. You can flip them or you can hold them, buy and hold them. You know what I mean? So it
Yeah.
depends on your strategy. So yeah, it is some truth to that, but the whole market just being cheap now, them days is over, man. The rental market went up, the purchase market went up. It's just everything is right now is up crazy. Yeah.
All right.
So, but for a person that's looking to get in the game a little bit, and they playing with it, they're not playing with like not a significant amount. They playing with maybe 10,000. You know what I mean? I'll be able to guide them. I know where to start
Yeah.
off. Yeah,
We'd
yeah,
point them and guide them in the right direction.
yeah.
Right.
So you got certain areas like in Detroit, man, where you paying. I know this may be low compared to like California and a few other places, but like you got certain areas in Detroit where they paying $1,100 and $1,000 for rent, and like a few years ago, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, that was unheard of. So like the rental market is booming, and yeah, so yeah.
Okay. Right. So on your prison time, did you do state? Did you do federal?
No, I did state time, and
You
I
state
was
time.
blessed enough yeah, I was blessed enough to have only done a year. So yeah, I didn't do no stretching them, but any time
Right.
away from home.
Anytime. Yeah, anytime. If you 10 days, a day is
Yeah,
too long.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, man, and I did that time, but it was a gun charge, and all my charges was always dope and guns, obviously. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I never caught. Well, I caught one assault case like when I was like 18. Yeah, it was a long time ago though. So yeah, all
Okay.
my charges that I've caught since I was like 15 was I caught a gun charge at 15, and then a few cases after that. It's a few. I got a nice little sheet going
Yeah.
on, but
Yeah, man.
the thing is though, the thing is, man. I mean, not to glorify it, man. The thing is, through all of that, it's. I mean, it made me, it made looking back in retrospect, it made me believe like that God was real because you know
Right. Because, yeah,
yeah
I mean, a lot of times we be out there and when our charges, we be in so much and charge after charges begin to stack up, and through the end, you'll get a blessing. Then, what I'm
listen,
saying?
man,
Like with me,
looking at
go ahead.
looking at some of the shit that I did, you know what I mean, beforehand, even before the joint and after, like just growing up, period. Looking at some of the shit I did, man, and that little charge, like the charge is so little, like the weapons charge is so little, and I was like, man, if I got caught for anything else that I did, man, it was a wrap. Wouldn't see my kids no more. No, it wasn't none of that. So
Right.
I'm thankful. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I was thankful for that time.
Yeah,
At
you
the
got
beginning
to.
of it, you like first of all, you thinking, you around all those people who, 30, got three life sentences. They trying to get life up off of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even if they do get one life off of them, they still got 2 life sentences that they got to try to fight for and been fighting for 30 years. So you around those people, you like, damn, even your first day or 2 or 3 days, you like, damn, this ain't that bad, what I mean? Even though you can't see the end of your time, no matter how much time it is at your first day, when you get there, you like, man, yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of first days, like what was your first day in prison like? Thought process and everything that went on.
Oh, you know what, man? When they called me out the county, you ride out from the county and shit.
Yeah.
So when I was riding out and shit, we dropped a few people off. We had some fed people with us. We dropped them off in a different county and shit. And then we dropped them off first, and then we got to ours. And I'm just looking like, damn, I'm looking, so we turning in and shit. I'm just looking around like, man, this motherfucker. It wasn't like it was all dirty, trashy, none of that. I'm just look. It's you in the world, but you away from that motherfucker. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So
Straight
it's
up.
like, I got off the bus, and I'm just looking around. You got to go to medical and all that shit first. You know what I mean? You got to
Yeah.
stop and go get you got to go get your vitals checked and shit. And then you get called back out for medical. But yeah, man, I was doing that shit, and then one of the little guys that I was in the county with at the beginning of when I first went in, like in the county and shit, like, you good, man? You're like, yeah. I'm like, nervous and shit. Like, yeah, I'm like, yeah, me too. I'm just nervous. You nervous because you don't know what's about
Yeah.
to, you don't know what's
Right. You
about
don't know what's about to go down.
to. So luckily, the joint I was at, it was separated. So you got a side that it was a side from. So you got this whole big ass plantation basically, right? And then on
Yeah.
one side you got younger guys, which at that time I was 23, 22, 23. Um, you got younger guys, and then you got the older guys. You know what I mean? On one side, everybody that's in there for a long time, been there, or it's a real chill joint. It's level 2. You know what I mean? But the younger side was level 4. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
um, they would have the older guys come over there and kind of mentor, everybody. So yeah, that was my first little day or so. It was like, and then I got in there, I looked around. I ain't never really hung with no younger guys my age or younger, you know what I mean? Never. So I didn't know nobody in there. I knew like maybe like 1 or 2 people. And now, it wasn't nobody that I rocked with like that. So I was like, okay, this is what it is. And then it was fucked up because the bunkie I had and shit, he was like a dirty guy, man. And
Oh,
that's
nah.
I was on the younger side then. You know what I mean? I only spent 3 weeks on the younger side. The rest of my time I did on the side. I was talking to the A-Road, like, you gotta get me the fuck out of here, dog. These young niggas is trifling. They in this bitch talking, rapping songs and
Yeah,
shit like that.
all
Man,
night.
this shit a playground for y'all, huh? But no, you know, but no, when you gotta go through that
Yeah,
shit.
yeah,
You know
you
what
got
I
to
mean?
go through that.
If you gonna play the streets, you gotta see. You gonna bump your head. You gotta go through that. I remember times being 18 in the county, beating on the shit, rapping
Yeah.
songs. Just wait. What time is it? You know what I'm saying?
Old heads
Yeah,
complaining, yelling back, shut up. Go lay
yeah.
down somewhere. Yeah.
I
So
remember
they,
that. But shit, as I got older, that shit started to bother me. Like, dog, hold on, something ain't right. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
straight
But
up.
yeah, I was in that motherfucker. Then it didn't help that my motherfucking monkey was like a devil worshiper and shit like that,
Oh
man. That shit.
man.
Yeah,
You probably walking there like, man, what is going on in here?
yeah, man. I have my Bible on my desk, and he got the little devil shit going on.
Um,
Then the room was always dark, so I had to use the little bit of light to read the Bible. I was just like, oh man. Then make it even worse, but it wasn't it wasn't no set trip shit. I'm a vice lord, and he was a GD, so it was
right.
like,
Oh man.
it just didn't even. I was like, yeah, let me just.
Man.
We had
So
that
man,
one room, bro, for 22.5 hours, and you come out the day room, you go back in, and then you come out. Either you got 2 times a day. You come out for yard for 45 minutes and day room 45 minutes. You know what I'm
okay.
saying? I ain't kidding with nobody, so day room wasn't really my thing. Like, I don't want to talk to y'all.
Right.
Then they watching BET. They doing young nigga shit, man.
Yeah. So during this year that you was doing, during the time that you doing the year, what is like one thing that you develop, a habit that you developed that you would carry from in there to out to the streets that was something positive?
Um, One thing, I, I spent more time with God for one. For two, I got into this is what I learned. This is one of the things that I learned. Diplomacy, for one. If you don't have a proper level of diplomacy, motherfucker knock your head off in that
Yeah,
motherfucker.
most
Like everybody don't feel like being bothered. Like, or everybody don't take shit a certain way. So if you don't have the proper, like, it's different with each different person. So if you got diplomacy, it got a higher level of diplomacy, then you can you can relate your messages properly, articulate the messages properly to those different people. So that's another thing. And another thing I learned, like, a person, no matter who he is, needs at least like 1, 2, 3 hours a day to himself. You know what I
Oh yeah,
mean?
most definitely.
Because even in there, it's a lot going on, but it's a lot of stress. You know what I mean? But out here, it's way more. Believe it or not, out here is way more that's coming at you. You know what I mean? And there you can find. So it's just like it's only so much you could do. The same people and shit like that. But out here, if you're really trying to go somewhere, on a positive path or anything, any upward, on an upward hill, then it's a lot. So you need time. You need like 1, 2, 3 hours a day to yourself. And I adapted that habit. So and I implemented that into my days. As I started making that transition, and I didn't make the transition fresh out either. You know what I mean? I made the transition a little bit, down the line. So what I do is now, as much as I can help it, most days, like 80-90% of the time, I'm up at 5 a.m. 5 a.m. From 5 to 8. That's my me time. That's my
Right.
that's my that's my prayer. That's my read. You know what I mean? That's my me time. I don't open an email, check a text message, none of that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good because I had the same time. Mine is in between like six. It's about the same time as yours. Mine's like from 6 to 9. In between that time, I'm like you. I don't check email, meditating, just getting ready for the day. And I that's one of the things I picked up from prison. Like I wasn't no early riser, but in prison it's like 5:30. They open the doors for breakfast, especially in the feds. Like you got to be up because anything can go down. So when you hear that key hit that lock, you up, and then you got a routine. That's what I carried out, was that morning routine when I left out of prison and carried it to the streets, because that's very important to get your day started, get you mentally ready and everything else. You know, while you was locked up, what was the moment where you was like, man, this ain't for me. I ain't gonna keep doing no prison time. Like this prison
You know
stuff ain't
what?
for me.
No, I'm gonna tell you, man, because the time I'm gonna tell you, the time wasn't so bad, right? This would fuck me up the most. This what got to the deep of me, because I'm a brilliant guy, always have been. I always was different than everybody. You know what I mean? This would fuck me up the most. It was the fact that, you know, I knew better. It ain't even about knowing better though. You know what I mean? It ain't about knowing. I knew to do better. Is what I'm saying. Like I
Right.
knew. Like of course you know better. Of course you know right from wrong. That's simple. My son can tell. My goddamn daughter at 8 months can tell you right from wrong. But it's not about right from wrong. It's about knowing to do better and actually doing better. And I was like, man, hold on. You know what I mean? This shit ain't working. You know what I mean? You know, and it ain't like I never at first I had never caught no dope case, and then I was always under the radar. I was stupid, you know what I mean? But it, cause to be honest, when I caught the case, man, I paid a bond and got out on tether. I fucked the tether up because I was selling dope, and I ain't trust nobody to do nothing else for me, so I kept leaving. I was like, man, fuck that, and the judge was like, man, you left 40 times this weekend. Like, what the fuck is going on? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I remember it was like 53 times or some shit. Like, you left 53 times in between Friday and Sunday. Shit, I was going to the store.
Yeah.
You know, but no, yeah, man. Like I said, I was 22 though, so you know, I'm just like shit. But I wasn't about to not make no money. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't thinking about that case like that. So she was like, remand. I could have fought from the outside, but I remand.
Right.
I was like, but yeah, at that time, about 5 days in the county. Now I ain't even had to get rolled out check. By that time I wasn't sentenced to none of that shit. I ain't had to get rolled out to know like, yeah, nah, this ain't. You know, you sober, you ain't drinking. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? In the nothing. You in that bitch like, God damn, you know.
Like
Then
here
they
I
open
am,
up.
like you in there, like damn, here I am sitting in this motherfucker right here.
Yeah, yeah, this ain't it. You know, having to call. You know, hey, do this like this, and that shit is a headache. I ain't gonna even hold you. That shit, you know, that shit a headache. So yeah, I recognize that, and then when I got out, it was, you know, it was on and piping.
Right. So how when you got out, how did you make that transition into what you're doing right now with the real estate and everything?
It didn't start like that. When I got out, you know, I've always been a hustler. Always. This shit just, well, like I said, my mom, my daddy, everybody hustled. You know what I mean? Some kind of way. Everybody, even my stepdad. You know, I was a hustler. So I always knew how to make money. You know what I mean? Or something. I always found something to do. Like I can't sit still. Like damn near ADHD almost. You know what I mean? But what I did when I got out, man, I saw a check that my stepdad had. He had like a maintenance company, you know what I mean, like cleaning service and shit like that. And he had accounts from like Meyer, Rite Aid, and you know companies like that. And what I did was it was a check for like 30-some thousand. And you know with those type of companies, with those type of businesses, you get you invoice. You know it's called a net 30, so you get paid every 30 days. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, damn, 30-some thousand for a month. You know, not considering, you got to pay people and shit like that. But it's like, damn, that's dope. I could do something with that. Let me see what I can start. So I started a janitorial, cleaning service. You know what I mean? And shit, by the grace of God, man, like about a few weeks in, I got the business insurance, the commercial insurance, and like a week and a half after that, a guy gave me a chance. He had an account it's these luxury condos out in West Bloom. We got a place up here called Bloomfield in West Bloomfield. It's like, decent houses, 300,000, 400,000, $500,000 houses, nice houses, you know what I mean? They go up to the
Okay.
millions. But so he had an account out there doing this little condo complex, you know what I mean? So what he would do when people left the complex when their lease was up, he would get the apartments and condos ready for the next person. You know what I mean? So after the construction, so we did post construction cleanup. So after the construction crew left, the construction crew might have, they might have redid a ceiling fan and you got drywall on the floor and shit like that. So I was doing that, man, and I was getting like 120 per unit. I could finish a unit up in like a day and a half. you know what I mean, it started being like a day after so long, but I couldn't find, you know, the people who believed in the dream, like who believed in the business first. Everybody was like money, 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 money. I want to get paid right now, today, and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So that was kind of tough. I did it for, you know, I did it for like 3 quarters. You know what I mean? And then, you know, it wasn't fitting no more. So I had to, you know, I had to jump back and, you know, do what I had to do for a little second. You know what I mean? And, you know, I did that, and you know, you never one foot in, one foot out, dude. Anytime you one foot in, one foot out, you get sucked in even more than you feel me?
Right. Yeah. Because you can't get, when you straddling the fence, most likely you straddling them towards the game. You really ain't.
Yep, because negative energy, believe it or not, is stronger. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's harder to try to, you know what I mean? So, you know, after that, you know, I'll jump back in for a second, but I had a few scares, you know what I mean? And I remember my son telling me this, my son and my daughter, you know, like, you know, Daddy, I don't want you, cause I ain't lie to my kids. I don't believe in, Daddy not away at college. Cause if I'm away at college, that means I can come home anytime I want to, and come visit you, and come play with you. And I can call you anytime I want to. I'm not that busy. I love y'all, you know what I'm saying? So
I wasn't a fan of that either. I ain't in no college. Like, I'm like you. I used to tell my just tell my kids and children the way it was. Like, this is what's going on. You know?
Yeah, nigga, don't do it. Listen, make sure when y'all get don't, this ain't where you want to be.
Exactly.
You know, Daddy, I don't want you to go to jail no more. At that time, he was like 3 or 4 or 5 or something like that. My son is like advanced, like I am. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, he's like 3 or 4. Daddy, I don't want you to go to jail no more. Out his own mouth, not his mama, not nobody. You know what I'm saying? I don't want you to go to jail no more. My shit, down, like, just them little words almost brought tears in my eyes and shit. You know what I'm saying? So, and he said that while I was out one day taking care of my business.
Right.
And I was like, damn. And one time, I had a little scare, you know, where you know, it was some shit popped off, man, and you know, I thought it was them people, you know what I'm saying, with them alphabet numbers, you know what I'm saying, with them alphabet letters. I'm just like, God damn, but it was state, and it was state police that had formed a task force and had been investigating me, but I moved so smooth, dog. But you know what I'm saying, and it ain't, you know, ain't nothing take place. And I had another scare after that, where, you know, they thought that I was doing something at this house, and, you know, it wasn't even nothing, you know what I'm saying. So, and I was like, you know what, this shit it's coming to an end. It's becoming more of a headache. It's costing me more than it's making me at this point. The Fox ain't working for me. I'm trying to cut this shit out. So, you know what I'm saying? What's more important, your family, your kids, and making real money, or, you know, putting on this image and, you know.
Right. So. Yeah. So you made the transition, and you get involved into the real estate.
So how I got into real estate was all right. So just to be clear, my old dude was in real estate too. You know what I mean? They call him Debo. You know, he got the same name as me, but they call him Debo. And he sold dope too, but he was always smart as hell. Like, he'd go get, he's selling, he goddamn go get 20 birds and a real estate license. So, you know what I'm saying? So shit like that. You know. We gonna go do this. We gotta make sure this straight too. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Nah, but so he had his real estate license. He always you know, put that shit in my head. Like I found a letter that he wrote me. He was in a joint in 07 or some shit like that. And I found the letter, and I was reading the fucking letter, and that shit almost brought tears in my eyes, dog, because everything that he was writing in the letter is everything that I was doing now. Like, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I found the letter in like 2017 or 18, and I was reading that shit like, what the fuck? He was like, hey, so what y'all gonna call it? What's gonna be the name of the company? You know what I mean? What kind of houses y'all gonna buy? Shit like that. You know, when I was younger than reading that shit, I'm just like, nigga, I'm not thinking about this. You know what I'm saying?
Came into fruition.
Yeah, it definitely did. So that's where the seed got planted at back then. And then in 2012, when the market was at a low and trying to come back up, you know, here in the city, he would we have a, you know, county auction. You dig what I'm saying? And he was talking to me, hey man, we need to do this and that. and I would ride around with him and shit, and go see the properties. You know what I mean? And like I wasn't really as interested because at that time, this was 2012. I was in the streets heavy. I wasn't even trying to hear nothing nobody was talking about at all. So I'm just like yeah. So we ended up we all put together some money and got like 5 houses. Me, him, and this other guy that he was dealing with got like 5 houses for like 12,000. You know what I'm saying? And the other guy got more houses. So it ended up, I think, all together being like, I don't know, like 10 houses, shit like that. But we got 5 of them for like 12,000. And that was my introduction right there. And afterwards, I bought my own property in like 2014, like when I got out. 2014 when I got out, like that springtime or some shit like that. And I was like, let me see what this shit about. Because he had more creative control over those 5 that we got than I did, because I didn't know, you know what I mean, at the time. But bought one in 2014, and then 2015, when I was just telling you I had all those scares, I was like, man, you know what? Let me go and do this. You know what I mean? So 2015, the end of 2015, I'm like, all right, let me start looking for some shit to buy. January comes 2016. And I go to this little get together about these cribs and shit. So I was about to buy myself a house, and I went up to the office the next day. The guy was like, man, you seem like you a grinder. Like, you know what I mean? He could have been trying to sell me anything, but he was like, well, you wanna work here? I was like, damn, you know what I mean? I ain't had no real estate license or nothing like that at the time. And he was, it's illegal, but he was allowing me to work and make money. You know what I mean? Selling houses, I would go open the door for the clients and shit like that. And at that time, I was dealing with homeowners, and I was doing that, for a while. We separated, like in October of that year. I didn't like some of the way things was going at the time or what have you. So I'm just like, yeah, And then that November, I met with these other guys that I had crossed paths with doing real estate, with dogging them, and then I ended up working with them. And shit, man, them the past since the top of 2017 to like 2019 February, dude, them little 2.5, 3 years, man, that shit really, it was a pivotal point in my life, because those guys, man, we was all around the same age, 26, 27, 28, except for our attorney. Our attorney was in her mid-30s. And those guys, man, though they are of a different race, they helped me a lot with, financial literacy. Right. You know what I mean? Being literate about finance, you have to know about money, dude, in order to be able to handle money right. So, I ended up getting out of debt. You know what I mean? I ended up gaining a lot of knowledge because I started back my habit of reading a lot, you know what I mean? And then you was around that every day, and we all had, we collectively had the same vision for that company, you know what I mean? Besides making money, you know what I mean? And we was around that every day, even if we did leave early and go day drink, you know what I mean? And we would talk, we could not get away from talking about business. And, right. You're around that, when you influence like that every day, you become more and more of that. You get what I mean? So, yeah, that's how that happened, man. And then, now, that we separated, we're not separated, with bad blood or nothing. We still, it's all love every kind of way. So, I just left last February and just started my own real estate acquisition company because I had made my own contacts, my connects, you know what I mean? And I'm smart enough, and I really don't want anybody in my pocket like that, you know what I mean? I want to limit my overhead, because apart from being a part of something, I am still an individual. So, exactly. I need to make sure that I'm preserved as well, you know what I mean? So I take everything I learned and, continue to grow, you know what I mean? With, being able to endure, the downfalls and the dry spots and everything else, that comes with it. So, yeah, man, that's how that transition happened, man. Listening to motivational stuff, staying in the word, you know what I mean? That's definitely a big part of it. And, that's it for real.
All right. So if it was one word that it described the whole journey for yourself, what would that one word be?
man, that's kind of broad right there, man. I don't want to say something like growth because that's too vague, but let me see, man. One word. I mean, it included so much, man. Growth, grace. You know what I mean? It included so much, man. Recognition of me knowing that I'm supposed to prosper in the right way, and it's actually, when it's just saying that if you find more things to be grateful for, you attract more things to be grateful for. You get what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
And that same thing goes for what you do in life. If you around or you do, you sowing this certain seed, that's what's gonna continue to grow. So and it ain't no such thing as growing good grass and then weeds come up. You know what I mean? You can't allow those weeds to be there. You get what I mean? Which is the negativity. You know what I mean? The negative ways,
Right.
negative words, anything. You know what I mean? So you can't allow that to be there. So you gotta, But in one word, man, I really, I'm gonna have to get back to you on that. I don't really. I really don't know. And that's crazy because I've
Yeah.
been writing a book. So I've been thinking of, like one word to call my journey. You know what I mean? Because it's something like a semi.
I mean, because when you think about it, we a lot of people just like on brands, like your shirt, for example. Your shirt got one word on it, focus. You know what I'm saying? Even like the shirt I'm wearing, one word, dedication. You know what I'm saying? So it's like one word that that sums it all up. Like one word for me would be determination. Like I was determined. Like even the times, like you were saying, you was doing it over and over. Like I would go in, come out, go in, come out. Then I did that so much that the feds finally came. Like, look, they swooped up the whole
We're
block.
not playing with you. Sit
Yeah,
down.
we not playing. So I'm like, oh man, it's me versus the United States. So something got to change. But I always was determined to improve my conditions. I just didn't have the knowledge at the time to advance my conditions. So all I was doing was going back to what I know, selling dope. You know what I'm saying? Getting money because I didn't have the knowledge to grow in it and get money in another field in a sense. Like I could hustle shirts, CDs, and stuff like that, but I didn't have the knowledge to expand outside of the dope game or just the street hustles that I grew up in. So, but I was always determined to improve my conditions to the next level. But then when the
See,
feds picked me up, I was like, oh yeah, I got to do something. Like I got to really sit down during this time and really figure this out and then carry it out.
see, I'm glad you said that because see, a lot of people our youth and a lot of adults too, man. Like you said, man, different strokes for different folks. We all came up different. Like you said, you didn't have the knowledge, you didn't have the know-how. You had the opportunity, but you didn't have the know-how. You didn't have or you didn't know where to go get the resources in order to grow yourself. See, I think that if we had if we could touch, that especially that male man, that young man, that you know what I mean, that 13 to like 17-year-old, and kind of, give him the resource, give him what they need, get them what they need in order to be able to know to grow themselves, especially in that situation, man, because the urban areas of America, man, we really suffer the most, man. But
Yeah,
we
most
really the
definitely.
most valuable though. You know what I mean? Because you only as valuable as your weakest link, and it's not the weakest as in like the poorest or the weakest, but like your weakest link, the bottom of the totem pole is urban. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, but the totem pole still got to stand from the bottom. You get what I'm saying? So, it's I feel like we should be able to, we need to be able to reach out to those type. You know what I mean? And I spoke at a college before too, man. I had a lot of little milestones that I'm grateful for, man. You know what I mean? I spoke at a college where they was graduating. That kind of, and I'm me being young, that and still like kind of college age. I'm 28, I'll be 29 in a minute. So at the time I was 27 though, and me being only 10 years older than them, it's just
Yeah.
like, dang, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
they can relate to you, and that's
yeah,
kind of the like the last question is, if I was a young kid, that, you know what I'm saying, 17, 18, I was out there in the game, and what would you pull up on me and say
Um,
through your experience? What kind of game would you drop on me?
this is just exactly what I tell my son. Okay, I would let him know that because identity is play a big part in it too. So, I would let him know that it don't matter what everybody else is doing or what seems cool to everybody else, to the masses at all. You do what you know you're supposed to do. So if you're supposed to read to feed your mind, read. You get what I'm saying? As far as your actions go, follow, like, what do you want to do? And if you want to do that, if this is your target, you need to be able to take the steps to hit your target. And you need to stay dedicated to hitting your target. Now, ain't no such thing as not slipping, because it's ups and downs in life, mentally,
most definitely,
financially. So you go slip. But dig this here. As long as I see you determined and dedicated to hitting that goal, and you ain't slacking off on no bullshit like I was, then I'm gonna be able to help you. And hopefully it's other males around to support that in the community. So, me being one person in the community, I can't change, everything. But that's what I would definitely tell them, man. Stay dedicated to the right thing. Stay dedicated. Yeah, stay dedicated to the right thing, and it's a must that you stay dedicated to the right thing and sow the right seeds so that you reap the right harvest.
Right.
You want rotten fruit, or you want the right, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I feel that. So before we go, man, what's your one word?
You know what, man? What would I call my journey, man? What would I call my journey? A lot. Nah.
I mean, it's your word, man. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's just.
You know what? My one word, man, is endurance, because the attacks are inevitable. The when I say attacks, I mean even your own mentality will attack yourself. Your own, like, you are your own worst person in some cases. So yeah, I would definitely say endurance.
Yeah, that's crazy you said it, because I just posted
perseverance and endurance. Yeah.
Because like you said, your own thoughts with it. A guy just said, I was watching an interview on a podcast, and he said this: watch what you tell yourself.
Exactly.
Watch what you tell yourself. So yeah, well, yeah, I appreciate you having coming on, man, spending your time, sharing your story, sharing your knowledge. I think what you gave was real. You gave some game. I got a little saying that when I'm teaching or anything, at the end of it, I say, "Now that's game." You know what I'm saying? So I really appreciate, man. I'm staying in touch, man. Hopefully, later on in the future, we can do some work together. I like to go around speaking. I like to go into the community, sharing my stories, giving out the game stuff as well. So, man, I'm gonna stay in touch with you, man. I wish you all the best on your journey from here on out, man. And salute you, man, from you coming from where you coming from and knowing where you're going. I think that's the most important thing, knowing where you're going. So, man, appreciate the call, man. Now that's game.